Are we on the internet?
No, I don't think so. Theirs don't work. I'm gonna put it on later. Your internet working?
It says it is.
Well, that'd be something. It ain't worked in a month.
It says it's working. The sound ain't that great, but it says it's working.
Okay. What this place needs is a new engineer.
How rude. So you want to fire me, huh?
No, I was talking about the one that does that. You ain't the one that does that, are you?
Other than trying to get it working when it goes dead, no, I don't mess with it. That's Jim's and Adams when Adam was here. He set that
Need to get him back.
We ought to go over to the other senatorial district and do a little campaigning for this guy that's running against Lamar.
Yeah. Why do we have to go somewhere else?
Well, you don't vote for him here.
Yeah.
Lamar?
Yeah.
I thought Corker was our...
Both of them. That's statewide.
Oh, really? They don't
Senate,
have...
yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll do that. We'll
They
start
won't-
tonight.
Well, we need to campaign for Lamar. Maybe that'll help the other guy.
What?
If we campaign for Lamar, maybe it'll help the other guy.
Couldn't tell. We ought to tell him he needs to make a donation to our program so we won't advertise.
Yeah. We won't support you if you make a substantial
The guy that
contribution.
was going to run against Dave Shirley or whatever his name is, going to run against Alexander, I think he's got a better chance.
Well, Alexander will get elected.
Huh?
Alexander will get elected.
Right.
Him and Lamb, not. Alexander ain't done nothing but screw up every place he's been.
What?
Alexander ain't done anything but screw up every place he's been.
I know.
He ruined the
He's
state.
about like Hillary
Alright,
Clinton.
guys, 3,
2, 1.
You're live.
Tell them who we are.
Oh, I'll tell you who we are. We are happy to be here. The happy couple is who we are. You have tuned in to the Wild Bob and Ronnie show. And if you're watching this on Channel 12, we want to welcome you.
Don't try to adjust your set.
Don't adjust your set. We are real. And if you're watching us on the internet, we want to welcome all of you folks over there in Libya. And would like you to call in and give us a little information on the
Benghazi.
tragedy in Benghazi, you know. And
If you speak Arabic, we'll get,
right,
we'll
you
get,
know,
what's his name?
a lot of people think Benghazi is a man. You know that? His name is Ben. And he's about like a buddy of mine.
Well, ain't been no guys you're here and has every place else.
Not like a buddy of mine went to, boy, he fought in Europe. They captured him, and they broke him out, and he stayed in the military, and then he went to the Pacific Theater, and he got captured over there, and he's about as bad as what's his name out at Silas out Silas out at Demery. Didn't Silas get caught twice?
I don't know.
I think he did, but this guy, now he was something else. He was so hard-headed. He would not listen to anybody, and I don't reckon he had to because I think he peeled.
He wasn't Andrews, was he?
I think he peeled potatoes in Europe, and he peeled potatoes in Japan or wherever he was. But make a long story short, they took all of them there to the base on one of the islands in Japan, and they're going to ship them back home. And he sat out there about 3 or 4 days in the boiling sun. They were calling for all separatists to go to such and such a gate. And he was convinced they were calling for some Greek guy by the name of Socrates. He sat there and almost, so helped me, now he told us on himself, he sat there and almost missed all the boats coming back to the United States because he thought they were calling for Socrates rather than all Socrates. And that's very, very true. So,
He couldn't hear good either, could he? He couldn't hear good either, could he? He was definitely an Andrew.
yeah, he could hear, but he wasn't hearing what everybody else was hearing, and he wouldn't talk. He was the kind of probably sat over there by himself. He wouldn't talk to anybody else, He'd been having buddies, and or somebody would have told him, "Come on, let's get on the boat." He said he probably would say, "I ain't gonna ride with that Greek." Okay, we want to welcome you. This is August the 21st,
Yep.
2013, and things have not got a bit better since I celebrated New Year's Day over 8 months ago.
Well, you've got some new skin on your foot.
Well, yeah, I do.
I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome back the late, great Bob Andrews, who has new skin on his foot.
Yeah, I do, and I got a shoe on, and I'm real thankful that my foot has healed.
Well, I'm going to discourage you a little bit. You know, we couldn't even get enough donations to buy a bullet to put you out of your misery.
You mean nobody would donate?
No, they said just use a sledgehammer, and I didn't want to do that.
Well, I'm real thankful that I heal good. Now, I'm not telling you to take my advice or do as I do, but I scalded my foot, and I doctored it myself, and I didn't have to have any skin grafted off my rear end or anywhere else to go on that foot, and it has healed beautifully. No infection, no problem at all, and I just want to thank the Lord for the good health and the way He's allowed my body to rejuvenate itself as far as that burned foot. And I've been blessed in many, many ways my 70-some years, and I hope the Lord will continue to bless me as He has in the past. Hope He blesses all of you too, and He will.
So much for church. What are we going to do now?
Well, pass the collection plate.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, if you have a difficulty like I had with my foot where I couldn't get around, you really appreciate having an automobile. And you appreciate...
You got one for sale?
No, and you appreciate one that will get you from point A to point B. And if you have one that does that, you better look after it. You better go on down to Napa, right across from IGA, and get you one of their specials on their oil and their filter. Get whatever you need to keep that car in good running condition, because you might never know when you might come down with something that makes you hobble around. I even used a crutch there for a day or two, and it was kind of rough walking on them gravels with just a sock on my foot, But,
well, that there shower cap you had on it helped, didn't it?
That what?
That shower cap helped, didn't it?
Well, yeah, what I did, I bandaged my foot up good, and then, we never have any rain up here.
No,
but
it's
just in
grass
case
field.
it was going to rain, I took and put a shower cap over my bandaged foot, so if it were to rain here,
He'd catch a whole bunch because the top was open.
right, if it were to rain here, then I didn't want my bandage to get soaked.
If you need any medical attention, I don't recommend Bob Andrews treatment. But if you need auto parts, like he said, go to Napa across from IGA at 562-9406.
Right?
Yep, 9406.
562-9406, Napa Auto Parts. They get whatever you want. And as I mentioned last night, I went up there and probably was going to order a $30 or $40 piece for my Bobcat. And Randy says, well, why don't you just do this and you won't have to order a piece. So he cut himself out of a sale, but he saved me like $25, $30. I don't know how much exactly, because we never did get around to pricing the piece that he was going to have to order for me. But we worked it out another way. So you can't beat people that are knowledgeable and people that will steer you straight and tell you what you need to do to keep your vehicle running.
Kind of like us, except on vehicles. We're knowledgeable and tell you what to do.
Right.
And you might even keep your car running.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't beat it to come to my place and say, well, you know, I can get it cheaper down Walmart, and I'm just honest as all get. I said, well, I don't know what you stopped here for. I believe I go on down to Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems your money to.
Right, you know, people, you can have something.
Bent in Arkansas.
I could have something sitting out there that I know sold for, let's say, 75 to 80 bucks at Walmart, not counting tax. And somebody will come by and swear they just, they could buy it down there for $20.
Mm-hmm. The way I look at that, what you've got is collector's items. They ain't no more like them nowhere. They can't buy one like that at Walmart.
Well, let me tell you what I got. You know, if any of you guys that are worried about bagels, you know, I have a
bagel maker?
No, it's 10 candles on a rack. It's solid white brass.
What do you call
it? You call it a menorah. You call it a menorah.
We ain't too good Jews, are we? We ain't very good Jews.
I said that right, you know, and I eat them bagels. I prefer the 12-inch ones to the 14-inch ones.
Well, I'll tell you what I've got. You ready?
Yeah.
I've got roofing metal, I've got roofing shingles, I've got lumber, I've got tube boards, I've got insulated panels, I've got styrofoam insulation, I've got, did I say I had metal roofing? I've got screws, I've got sheetrock screws, I've got sheetrock, I've got vinyl siding, I've got cultured stone, I've got that stone, imitation stone siding that looks real, I've got linoleum.
Them kitchen rugs.
Yeah, kitchen rugs. I got nails. What else have I got? I got windows and doors. Got all sorts of custom doors.
You got coil stock.
Got coil stock and a bender down there. That's the guy will bend it for you. He'll make a door to suit you. He'll do some custom trim bending for you. I've got some wood trim. Buddy, I got everything.
Yeah, you do.
Got 2x4s, got 2x5s, got 2x6s,
right,
and
yeah.
I lied about the 2x5s,
right.
but we can trim them down.
Okay.
I've got 1x4s and I've got some deals on all
Got some
that.
16, 18 foot 2x4s?
No, got 10. I mean, I can get them, in stock or some 10 down there, but we can get, as long as they make, we just don't, what are you going to do with you got a 30-foot 2x4, you better get ready to nail it up because it's going to start twisting.
Yep,
You won't get no stale lumber there. We got the fresh stuff.
Right. Yeah, well, come on by. I got a little bit, a few other items up there too. I got some water heaters. I've got washers. I've got dryers. I've got a couple of real nice dishwashers. I did have 3, but one of them quit. And
Yeah, they'll do that.
one of my dishwashers
I
quit.
had one, best thing I ever done, got rid of it.
Well, I don't know. You know, I'm kind of like the guy who said he missed his ex-wife, but said his aim was improving.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Let's see what else have I got. Oh, I got furniture. I got when I sold that big overstuffed chair. I've got a real nice china cabinet. I've got a real beautiful armoire. I've got some real nice chest and I guess what you call dressers. And
You got Chester's drawers?
yeah. And,
Let's see who's calling us.
huh?
I think the phone's working.
All right.
TV.
Hey,
Hey guys, how you doing?
Pretty
doing
good.
great.
This must be Mr. Rex.
Yeah, that's
Well,
all.
he ain't. He's no longer at 566-6699. I don't know where he's
No,
at.
we ain't at that number no more.
No, 7.
Number 423-907-2655.
2655, that's 907 2655.
Why would anybody want to call you?
Yeah,
You have to call me by that number.
Well, why would they
I
want
left
to?
a message at your place, sir. We're still collecting toys and stuffed animals.
Well, that's that why they want to call you? Because you're collecting stuffed animals for the children this
Oh, yeah.
Christmas? Okay.
We're collecting kids' shoes and kids' sandals for the kids for Christmas.
Sandals for Christmas? Better be getting some boots.
We're trying to help them out with anything we get a hold of, you know.
907-2655.
907-2655.
that's it. We
I'm
got
trying to
it.
remember that.
Yeah, we got
Hey,
it.
Bob.
Yeah, we got
Hey,
it.
Bob.
Right, yeah.
Do
See
you
ya.
have a TV stand down there at your place?
Got a TV stand. He's got an entertainment
Yeah,
center.
dude. I got a TV, just a regular TV stand, and you know, like a whole, like about a 30-some-inch TV, and then I got a beautiful Broyhill Oak entertainment center. I mean, it's really, really pretty. If somebody has a need for something like that.
How much do you usually charge for them?
Which one?
Yeah, the cheapest one get.
Well, the TV stand I want $25 for, and the entertainment center I want $150.
Okay.
It's a,
I'll try
it's
to
an
get
oak,
that
it's,
today.
it's an Oak Broyhill entertainment center.
I'll try to get that out to you.
All right,
I appreciate
see
you guys.
See you.
There you.
See?
Here's one of our patrons told me a joke about this blonde that went to this football game. And she said when the game was over, she couldn't figure out what all the fuss was about for just 25 cents.
It's what?
25 cents, all that fighting and arguing over 25 cents. And the guy said, well, what do you mean with that? She said, well, they went out there and they flipped this quarter, flipped, this coin, and then they started fighting over it, and all they talked about for the rest of the game was get that quarter back, get that quarter back. Well, that went away. I don't know. Here you go, try it.
Oak TV. Hey,
Are they not all blondes now?
Well, the grayer you get, the blonder you tend to become.
right.
Well, that man out there at the Alvarez shelter that took over, he's got more than he can handle.
He's a what?
The man out at the
Yeah.
Alvarez shelter that took the job,
Yeah.
he on Channel 12, he needs volunteers on the weekend.
Yeah.
And they run off the best two they ever had out there. With Norman Watkins and Debbie Simpson McGee.
I don't know anything about it, but I know one thing, that man's got courage.
They
Yeah, he does.
volunteered for years out there, taking in the animals on the weekend and our cages, keeping them freeze to death, and cleaning cages, and had their whole families out there helping them, and then they told them what was going on, and they both got terminated. One of them had just got her insurance, and the other was about ready to.
Well,
and
wait a minute.
They didn't get kicked off.
Wait a minute.
This world of government.
Wait a minute. You don't get paid if you're a volunteer.
Well, they was getting one of them had got her health insurance, and she had kidney stones and had to be off and was back at work, and she got terminated for telling what was going on out there, and so did Debbie Simpson McGee.
Well, I don't know
She
any.
was out there for years volunteering and finally got a wage, but she never did get her health insurance.
Well, I don't
They
know.
got kicked off the hill. That bus needs to be, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Whoever come up with that corrupt stuff needs to be corrupted.
Okay.
Is there any way I could volunteer just on payday?
Hey, I tell you what, volunteer on the weekend now to just take them the dead animals and let them put them
Well, I don't know if there's a lot of demand for froze animals.
Well, that's what they have to do with them, put them in them freezers, the roadkill and everything else.
Well, you know,
Somebody has to do it, let them do it.
you know, they could really cut down on the expense if they'd put some of them solar panels on that thing.
Yep.
And use that to run the freezing
As
operation.
big as that is, they could put the solar panels on there and sell enough electricity to feed them animals.
Yeah,
The only
they
thing
do
we
that.
ever done was went out there one time to get a hound that somebody took the collar off of, and it was a good fox hound, went out there and got the thing.
Did they charge you?
It froze open.
Did they charge you more for your own dog than it would if it been a stranger?
Get a penny, we got our dog.
Did they charge you more for knowing the dog? I give up.
Somebody told us that had to be that hound, and we went and got it. I'll get off if this government gets any more corrupt. What in the world are we gonna do? Hide in a cave and let them shoot us like a bird?
Certainly have enjoyed this one-way conversation.
I'll listen to see what you say.
Thank you.
See ya.
She said we can talk now.
Maybe I forgot what
Well, I
was
don't
gonna
want to
say.
talk now.
Hey, let me tell you, before I came here, I made a trip from the store. I went up past the hospital. I went through all the traffic lights. And you know, we spent a lot of money putting new traffic lights here back when the mafia was running, the old mafia was running the city. And you know, it was all supposed to improve the flow of traffic.
You stopped at every light.
That one down at Tennessee Avenue, no cars coming anywhere, stopped everybody on the Central Avenue, okay? All right, then you take off from the stoplight at Tennessee Avenue, and the one up at 25W will catch you. I mean, you know, you'd have to run 70 miles an hour between them stoplights to make the stoplight.
Well, that's what you're doing wrong. You're supposed to run 5.
Yeah, I know. And then you go through 2 of them, yeah. But you know, as simple as it is nowadays to computerize these lights, where if you make one, you make all of them right on through town.
They do that in Oak Ridge. That back before they put in them cameras, start
Yeah, I
catching
know.
people though.
Right.
TV.
Hey,
Hey, speaking of traffic lights, you remember when I-75 collapsed and they redirected all the traffic through the Follett,
Yep.
25W,
Yep.
Jellicoe,
Yep.
and to help the traffic, they turned all the traffic lights off,
Yep.
or just put them on orange or yellow or whatever it was, and we didn't have a bit of trouble. Traffic flowed
Yeah.
beautifully, there were no traffic jams, people got off the side streets without any problem, and when we got to bragging about how great the traffic was moving, Mike Stanfield, that bunch went down there and turned the lights back on. They couldn't stand the fact that we seen everything working perfectly without lights.
It's like a
In their office, somebody go down there and laugh, get Gene Austria or somebody to lasso them lights and just let Trigger or whatever Jenkins just pull them lights right out of town.
It's like the sequester. When we've got was sequestered, we can't tell it.
It's like all this cash flow from solar panels,
well, you know, when they put
looking for the money.
when they put these lights up,
That $160,000 we're supposed to get a year from TVA. I'm still asking around, I've asked the chairman of the school board, I've asked superintendent of schools, where's the money?
Yeah.
Remember that old woman that used to
Yeah. Clara somebody.
We need her to come and look for that money.
Where's beef?
well,
Yeah.
Where's beef?
yeah,
gonna do that thing next week, maybe?
Lord, yeah.
Okay, we'll get ready. I've got some stuff ready.
Okay, I think we ought to hold it down at the Board of Education, a new building.
Well, you know, that list wouldn't be kosher, I'm afraid. We could have it over.
Where's the meat?
We could have it over to Justice Center.
Well, if it rains though, you won't be able to get through the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a money hole full of water down there.
We got another money hole out there at the lake. Well,
See you later, guys.
see you.
See ya.
Hello.
Yeah.
Everything okay?
I don't know whether you have gone down and looked at
Okay,
the construction going on down behind the courthouse, you know, which consists of the Justice Center offices and also third jailhouse, you know, and you know, I mean, I don't think Cleveland County really cares, if you want to know the truth about it. I really don't. But you know, they planned on $12 million for that complex.
And then it went to 18, didn't it?
Huh?
Then it went to 18, didn't it?
I don't know what it is, but they have just about spent all their money, and they don't have the walls up on the jailhouse yet.
There was back in the 60s, there was, 25 was the main road. I'm talking about in the 50s and into the early 60s. The main road up 25W Dixie Highway was the main thoroughfare up through Kentucky,
Right?
north-south. And there was this guy, had this ambition to build this big, tremendous tourist court. And up there, just before you get to London, he went out there and he built this here, he started out and they dug the foundation and started laying bricks. And they went out there and just a bricking around through yonder, and they bricked in something. I mean, for that day and time, it was a big old sucker. It was
Right,
spread
okay.
out everywhere, and he got up about that high and run out of money, and then he killed himself. Well, we're taking up collections.
Well,
Well-
now we don't need to take up a collection. Maybe those who planned that center will do like he did.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's what we're taking up the collection for. In Japan, the honor.
Somebody shoot them.
Well, let them shoot themselves. We don't want to be accused of nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But over in Japan, when somebody used to anyway, they resigned now, but used to when somebody done
When they were
something,
shamed.
yeah, they would go fall on their sword.
That was George's brother Harry.
Carey?
Yeah, Harry Carey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, George Carey's brother Harry.
Yeah. And
Well, we need a little more Harry Carey around here amongst politicians, is what I got to say.
I told this joke last night on the internet, but this sums up politicians pretty good. You know, they got their hand out most of the time, and they said this fella decided he was a barber, that he would, for 1 week out of the month, that he would not charge people for haircuts. So they said this guy that owned a florist came in there and got his hair cut, and he says, "How much owe you?" He said, "Well, I'm doing community service this week, so I can't charge for the haircut. It's on the house." The fellow thanked him. Next morning, when he opened up, there was a thank you note and a dozen pretty red roses, and the thank you note said, "Thank you very much." Well, then the policeman came in, and he tried to pay for the haircut. Says, "No, I can't charge you. This is my week for community service." So the next day when he opened up, there was a note, thank you note, and a dozen donuts from the policeman. Well, this politician came in, got his haircut. He liked his haircut, and he wanted to pay for it. He says, "No," says, "this is my week for community service, so I can't charge you for it." So the next morning when he opened up, there were 21 politicians there to get their haircut.
Which means that no good turn goes unpunished, especially when fooling with politicians.
But you know, politicians think that they're supposed to have things better than their constituents, especially on your health care situation. You know, I think since they passed Obamacare, then they ought to have to accept Obamacare as their insurance. And, you know, even the...
Well, I don't think we'll be paying their insurance. I think they'll have to buy
I
their
said
own.
nothing about paying for it. I said they ought to have to
I know,
accept it as their insurance.
But if they wasn't getting employer provided insurance, they'd have to buy their own. And according to law, it'd end up with that Obamacare.
Oh, yeah, if the employer does not provide it.
Yeah.
But now, the employer, unless he has a waiver, which about all labor unions got a waiver, you know, unless they have a waiver, then they have to provide or pay a penalty.
Yeah. Well, it'd just be our money.
It's somewhat of a...
If you get to needing some concrete, you need to go down to Dixie Concrete. They're just, I mean, concrete, but any other name ain't concrete.
No,
Dixie is the name.
doesn't have Dixie stamped on it, it's just not there.
Now, they have got concrete, they've got all sorts of concrete products, you know, anything you need to do it with. They've got sand and gravel, and they got them big old chunks of concrete with the eye bolt on top of them, which you can use them for reinforcement or retaining walls, or build your house out of them. They interlock and stack together, or you can use them for boat anchors. They've also...
You better make sure your line's long enough.
Yeah, you don't want to sink, you don't want to turn it, push, don't put, well, you just be careful with the boat anchor thing. They've also got septic systems, septic tanks,
Right.
septic lines, all that stuff. You fill it, they'll provide it, and you provide the filling. They'll take care of you.
Make sure the hole's deep enough.
562-5656. That's their phone number.
You don't need, they will not intentionally install a two-story septic tank.
No, you need to keep your septic tank lower than your commode.
It helps.
And if you don't do that, you need a pump. They may have them pumps. They don't have no
I'm sure
steps.
they do, yeah. I've helped put those in the past, you know, where you have to raise it up, you holding tank, and then we raise it up a notch to the septic tank. And,
You need one of them out there at the Ponderosa.
do
How's
we-
your goats doing?
Huh?
How's your goats
Oh,
doing?
Lord. You can believe, I had to block them off the upper deck on the house. It wasn't so bad. Well, they kept on the upper deck, and they would sleep in the recliner.
Both of them?
Both of them in the same recliner. Then I had a little
I'm glad to get along.
roof that went up like this, and then the big roof. And you might have known they were right on the ridge coat of the big roof.
Yeah.
When I went out there the other day, so I had to fence them off the deck altogether, you know.
You need one of them there signs that says north, south, east, and west, and get your 4 goats.
Yeah, they were up on the ridge coming to the house.
Well, I tell you,
And they heard me coming, and down they come.
my lawnmowers and my weed eaters has worked so good. I mean, that's probably the smartest thing I've ever done, was getting 2 goats to mow the yard. I recommend it. There's a few weeds they won't eat, but if a goat won't eat it, you need to spray it.
Yeah.
And they just love tomatoes. They wouldn't have a carrot or a piece of celery if you load it off on them.
Yeah, I enjoy them because I didn't go out there today.
They'll holler out a watermelon around just like a chicken,
I
too.
know they will.
Ain't that something? They ain't picky.
And they love Cheerios.
Well, anything, yeah, and they like corn chips too.
Yeah.
And they like barbecued tater chips and cornbread. By the way, they'll eat about anything, but do you know anything that'll eat a stickweed? Anything that'll eat a stickweed?
No,
I don't believe them Japanese beaters used to eat everything and eat them.
I don't know because they stand up all over
Yeah.
my pasture. You know?
Yeah, you can find them. You
Right.
can put hogs and cows and chickens and everything in there, and there'll still be stickweeds sticking out.
But I want to tell you, hogs will get rid of Johnson grass.
I've heard that.
I had I guess I had about a 4-acre field, and I had a 2-row tobacco planter, and I went out there and I planted sweet potato slips 4 acres of sweet potato slips. And I raised my own slips too, you know. And it took a while because you had to pull the slips and everything. You had to keep your water barrels full and everything. But I planted 4 acres of sweet potatoes. Well, that field was just eat up with Johnson grass. But the sweet potatoes did a pretty good job of spreading out. You know, they crowded them out some. But what I did, I went in there and plowed up as many of the sweet potatoes I could and graded them out. A lot of them had a Johnson grass root growing right through them, you know. And
Them things will choke you when you make mashed taters out of them.
I got right many bushels of potatoes off there. But then I put me electric fence around it and I turned 6 hogs in there.
No bagels?
Huh?
No bagels?
No, well, I probably supplemented them some. But those hogs, they would find every sweet potato that you left in the ground or laying around. And when they came to a Johnson grass root, they'd go down if it was 3 or 4 feet and get all that Johnson grass root out, you know. And they just keep going. They just love to taste those Johnson grass
Well, I'll
roots.
tell you what, they ain't nothing as bad as pulling up corn and straightening up Johnson grass with a hoe. Yeah, I can't tell it. Some people claim they can, but I don't believe anybody.
They can do what?
That they can tell the difference in Johnson grass and corn when it's first coming up.
Yeah, that's real difficult to do.
Well, if you spend enough time to identify it, you ain't gonna get nothing done. You gotta wait till it gets up and the Johnson grass leaf won't spread as much as
I've
it's
never seen
turning kind of
no
root.
Johnson grass in the area that I was raised in, okay? And I guess they intentionally kept it out, you know. Well, I bought a farm down, had some bottom land, and some of the richest soil you ever seen in your life, you know. So I went in there and turned it, well, I burned it off first.
Yeah.
I burned it off.
You didn't take it home,
I
did you?
plowed with my old diesel tractor, and there my tractor caught on fire, and I had nothing dirt there, so I finally put it out. Didn't hurt the tractor, but I was plowing it a little bit too soon after I burned it off. Make a long story short, I plowed that thing, man. I had that field just beautiful. I wasn't living on the farm at that time. I was living about 13, 15 miles away, something like that. I came back down there about the 1st of May or June. That was Johnson grass thicker than the hairs on a dog's back. You know?
Well, now there wasn't no Johnson grass on that farm I've lived on all my life. Wasn't none. And our neighbor on out the road had Johnson grass. And he come out there, brought his team out there and plowed the cornfield one time. And brought a clump of Johnson grass, maybe more than one, on his plow. And plowed that field, and we got Johnson grass from that.
Yeah. It's good hay.
Well, it sure ain't much to raise taters in.
Huh?
It ain't much to raise taters in.
No,
Of course, now we ain't got it so bad now. We've got rid of a whole lot of it, but I'm sure if we started plowing fields again.
You know they have a spray now where you raise soybeans, and you spray the Johnson grass to kill the Johnson grass, but it won't kill the broadleaf plants. So, that's Monsanto that makes that.
Well, yeah, we don't want none of that Monsanto. They say that's awful.
Yeah.
That's fed the world, kept it from starvation.
Right.
If you get to needing any of that there propane, that liquid propane that they put in tanks, you need to go there and see Digger right in the middle of the road and Sawmill holler, 562-5444. He's got propane for every occasion.
Just whatever desire you have for propane, he's got it for refrigerators, to grills,
Yep.
to heaters, to hot water tanks, just
He
whatever
does
you need.
repairs and makes
Yeah.
custom hookup hoses, and I'm gonna go down and get him to make me some hookup hoses right soon.
Right.
I gotta go down and get some work done. That Digger's a pretty good fella.
Yeah,
562-5444.
That's Wilson's Propane down in Sawmill Holler. And, you know, I guess, you know, you don't never see the county having to make any budget exceptions for vital care.
You know, they're them people runs out of ambulance service, ain't they? The one that is independently owned and don't require no subsidies from the county. Yeah,
Didn't even require any incubation.
no incubator either, that's right. You know, they're having an incubation thing down there. Maybe this week or next week if you need to go down and get Bob's bargains
Well,
incubated.
we can get incubated?
I don't think so. I don't think they think there's any help for us. Vital Care's down there, 562-9370. If you need a little, or you need to ride an ambulance, you know, you can call 911 and they'll request Vital Care if you want to. They've been in business, they've been in business for a good while, but the general proprietor's been in that line of work for over 40 years.
Right. Sure has. Got all kind of experience and they do good work.
Yeah, and they got modern equipment. They got ventilators that they, and their ambulance.
That's mobile
Yeah,
ventilators.
they can haul you around when
Right.
nobody else can. They
Right.
take care of you. They appreciate your business. They know what happens if they don't suit people. They go out of business.
Right. I didn't
That's why
tell
me
you.
and Bob's practically out of business.
I didn't tell you, but I had a lady tell me when I burned my foot, if you don't go to the doctor, says I'm gonna call Vital Care up and have them come down there and haul you out of there.
Come down and sandbag you. I'll tell you what, I've laughed about, well, I ain't exactly laughed about it, but I've kind of punched Bob and said we was going to shoot him and stuff. But I'm going to tell you, he was looking bad a week ago. I was beginning to think maybe I was going to have to find a new accomplice.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, it's healed up real good and no
If
problem.
we get something for your head now,
Well, yeah, you know, I don't think I want to scold
well, we
that
don't
now.
need her, we need something else. We need something for your hearing too.
Yeah, we can do that, you know. They got them $29 30X hearing aids advertising all the
I
time.
got some of them.
Have you?
Yeah,
Did it work?
yeah.
You got it in?
No, I didn't need it. It worked and I quit wearing it. No, I got some, sure enough.
Have you?
I ordered one, they sent me two. You need
Right.
one?
Yeah.
You'll lose it.
Well, maybe not.
I'll give you one if you promise to not lose it and use it.
I'll do that.
You promise me you'll bring it up here once a week?
Yeah, well, I'll do that too.
Okay, I'll give it to you. You don't have to have batteries. You got a computer, don't you?
Yeah,
You can plug it in and it'll recharge it.
right.
It sticks in your ear and curls up around there.
Right, it goes behind your ear and then you got
If you promise me, okay, I'll make you a deal.
Right.
I'll bring it to you and give it to you. But if you come here without it, you got to give me $30.
$29.95.
I know, and that's plus
shipping and handling.
Yeah, it's 50-something bucks.
Plus shipping and handling.
It's 50-something bucks.
Yeah.
But
How
I'm
much?
50 counting shipping and handling. That's where they get their
Oh,
money.
yeah, they make it on the shipping and handling.
Yeah,
I know that.
But if you promise to bring it and wear it,
Yeah.
it's free. But
Right.
if you start showing up without it, it's
Right.
$30.
Okay.
I'm bringing it.
Bring it on up. If I
We'll
lose
have a
it,
whole new show next
if I
week.
lose it, I'd pay you for it anyhow.
But it ain't for sale. I'm gonna let you use it.
Right.
No, I got it so I wouldn't get fussed at for turning the television. Now, if I ain't got television, but I watch some movies.
Right.
Nobody loves me.
Right. Well, that's one that you've got a charger for yours, haven't you?
Yeah, but you plug it in the computer. I got 2 chargers, as far as that goes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's right, that's in two, yeah, I noticed. I've been tempted to order one,
well, I ordered one, got 2.
yeah. Well, they say that's in 2 for one.
Yeah, but you have to pay extra shipping, and
I
they
know
didn't
that,
charge me
yeah.
extra shipping. I just didn't want to fool with opening the box. I just sent it on.
Okay.
Well, what else going on, Bob?
Well, I don't know, I didn't quite finish my conversation a while ago about the street lights here in,
You
well,
mean the traffic light?
yeah, just, you know, that's the only place you got street lights is on, main thoroughfare, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to get down there way.
Yeah.
They left
But,
me
you know,
out.
Yeah, I did put new, street lights in, so it would increase, help the flow of traffic through town. But I'd say they put them in there on timers, and you can be cruising along and absolutely no cars sitting at a street coming into the main thoroughfare, and then if your light won't turn red. Now, with the advent of computers and all the technology you have nowadays, there's no reason in the world a town with one set of stoplights could not have those synchronized where you could make it all the way through town without having to stop.
Well, it would be a simple thing to run a line connecting all of the traffic lights.
Sure.
And it wouldn't be that expensive. It would also, I'd say it would cost more than the roof on a library to make a library look like a library. But you could also do it, we've got timers accurate enough now that it would, you could coordinate it or you could signal from a central location. There's several ways to do it. But I don't think that would necessarily feed the pig.
Why?
Well, you know what I mean by feed the pig? If you don't run them, they don't get to ticket you.
Well, that's true, but those, actually those lights were put in so they could accommodate cameras.
Yeah.
That's the only reason in the world that we...
Funny thing happened on the way to camera.
The city was on the hook for $200,000 for these lights.
Yeah. Funny thing happened on the way to the cameras.
Then, it just so happened that we were able to weasel around out of it, and the only thing we wound up paying was a restocking fee,
Hand delivered.
hand-delivered restocking fee.
TV.
Hey,
Good evening, gentlemen.
Howdy.
Y'all talking about the traffic lights. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the city of La Follette has a contract with some company somewhere that maintains these traffic lights. And they can, in case of some kind of emergency, call Knoxville somewhere, and they control these traffic lights out of someplace in Knoxville, was my understanding.
They ain't doing much of a job of controlling them, then, are they?
Well, traffic lights, anyhow, is one of them things. I want to bring up a subject that I haven't read about it, but I've been told about it, that the city is considering buying a piece of property, and I think it's located just a little bit past the utility lot where they keep their electric equipment, and from what I heard the proposal is to make this into some sort of convenience center or something else for this Cumberland Trail.
Yeah, I heard that.
Now,
And I read it.
pardon?
I read about it.
Okay, now, go ahead.
I don't know, I don't remember. I just read about it. I was
Okay.
thinking, boy, that's what we really need.
Here's my opinion. Question is, why would the city buy a piece of property that's a prime piece of property that some individual could go in there and put up a business that would be connected to or cater to the Cumberland Trail?
I've got an answer for you.
Okay, but let me go on. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna tell you why they won't do that.
Here's my thing about this is, the city, anytime the city buys a piece of property, like, I don't know what the condition of the building is or anything else, most likely we'll have to put a roof on it by all means. But it takes
That's a
on the
roof.
tax roll, and then we've got to maintain it, upkeep it, man it, and everything else from there on.
Well, I'm gonna say,
Forever.
I say that sounds like a perfect project for the government because they need something to pour money into. I'm gonna tell you what. I have drove up and down that road a few times, and I never have seen anybody crossing the road. I ain't never seen anybody walking down the trail to go look at the treatment plant out there down the walking trail.